What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope y'all are having a great day. I know I am. So today I want to talk about this crazy Wednesday, the crazy things that have been going on in the NFL, being that today is officially the first day of the 2019 NFL season. We got a lot of free agent signings. We got some big time trades with big name players that happened over the last few days. So I want to dive right into that, talk about it a little bit, give my opinion. So let's get right into it. So there's going to be a lot of guys this season that are going to be playing in new uniforms, playing in a new city. As I spoke about in my last video, you have Antonio Brown going over out west, out to Oakland, and soon to be Las Vegas to join the Raiders. And last night it was official. His friend and his former teammate now, Le'Veon Bell, has agreed to a contract with the New York Jets. So Pittsburgh has now lost both of two of their best weapons, but I don't think Pittsburgh's worried too much about it because as we saw last year when Le'Veon sat out for the full season, James Conner picked up the slack pretty well. So I don't know if they're too concerned about Le'Veon Bell, and his departure saves them a lot of money, and James Conner produced pretty well for them. So I don't know how concerned they are, but you have those two guys going out to a different team, and as was reported many times the last few days, the New York Giants were reported and rumored to have been in trade talks for Odell Beckham Jr. Now, nobody really knew for sure where they were going to trade him, if it was actually going to go down. And as happened last night, Odell Beckham was officially traded to the Cleveland Browns. Now, I'm super excited to watch this happen. I'm super excited to watch Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry on the same team again. Remember, they were college teammates at LSU. So I'm super excited to watch those guys play together with a quarterback like Baker Mayfield after what he did last season. To see, now he's got all these weapons on his team. They have, like I said, Odell Beckham. They got Jarvis Landry. They got, a speed guy in Antonio Callaway. They got a pretty young and pretty good tight end in David Njoku. They got, a star running back, in my opinion, in Nick Chubb. And obviously they got their quarterback, Baker Mayfield. So I think the Cleveland Browns are going to be a super, super fun team to watch. And I can't wait to see, how well those guys play together and what sort of things they actually do. Because, like I said before, the Pittsburgh Steelers have lost most likely their two most important offensive players over the last few years. And, somebody's going to have to pick up the slack in Pittsburgh. Otherwise, I never thought I'd say it, but the Cleveland Browns could creep up, win a bunch of games, and end up, taking control of the AFC North. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but, I mean, it's definitely something that I'm excited to watch. And, I can't wait to see how that all turns out. Speaking of the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens have been making some moves and been very active in the free agency market, the last couple of days. They, unfortunately, they lost Terrell Suggs. They lost Eric Weddle. However, they, as of, I think, late last night, early this morning, they signed Earl Thomas, former Seattle Seahawks safety, to a 4-year contract. And they brought in former New Orleans Saints running back Mark Ingram. So I think the Mark Ingram thing is going to be big for them. It's going to work out really well because, as we've seen, last year, with their quarterback now being Lamar Jackson, they were a very run first team a lot last year. They threw the ball, but I don't think they relied on Lamar Jackson's throwing abilities a whole lot last season. They were a very run first option team. Third downs, they were always running the ball, whether it be with Lamar or whether it be with, one of their running backs. They were always run first, and it worked out in their favor because they didn't necessarily need to put up, 30 points a game to win because they had such a great defense that held teams to, a very low scoring, it was a very low scoring game. So they never really needed to score like 30 points a game to win. A good 17, 20 points would win them a game, and that's all, they needed, and that's what they got from Lamar Jackson. So adding a guy like Mark Ingram, who's a big physical running back, who put up, some good numbers as a number 2 in New Orleans, I think, seeing that he's going to be, a guy that's going to touch the ball a lot, being that they run the ball a lot in Baltimore, it's going to be good. I think he'll work out pretty good for them. Obviously, like I said, adding Earl Thomas on the defensive side is going to help them keep that status as being one of the best defenses in the NFL. He'll definitely add something to their team. So I'm excited to watch that. The AFC North, I think, is going to be an exciting division to watch because of all the things, all the moves, all the players that have gone, all the players that have come. Cleveland also added, a bunch of other guys on defense. So, like I said, the AFC North is going to be a division that I know I'm excited to look at. I know I'm looking forward to seeing, what goes on and who comes out on top of that division, this upcoming season. So just a couple other notable guys that are on the move, going to be changing teams, relocating. You got Nick Foles. No surprise to anybody, I think, that he's going to be finding a new home elsewhere. He's signed a 4-year, $88 million contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seeing what he did, leading them through the playoffs and winning a Super Bowl 2 years ago, and getting them to the playoffs last year was good enough for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they're bringing him in, so he'll be in Jacksonville. You got Tyrod Taylor going over to the Los Angeles Chargers. Phillip Rivers is backup. So those are a couple of the big name quarterbacks, I guess, that are in this year's free agency that are relocating and going elsewhere. You also have Latavius Murray, running back from the Minnesota Vikings, who is now going to be backup to Alvin Kamara in New Orleans, sort of the same role as Mark Ingram. So we'll see how that works out if they use him as in the same way that they did Mark Ingram. We'll see how that 1-2 punch works out, because I think the Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara 1-2 punch was really, really good. It worked out really well for them, I think. So we'll see if Latavius Murray is able to equal, if not top, Mark Ingram's numbers for them out there in New Orleans. And then you have the Giants, the New York Giants, who I'm not sure what they're doing, really. They traded away Odell Beckham. They got a draft pick. They got draft picks out of him, and they got Jabril Peppers, the cornerback from Cleveland, in the trade. They lost Olivier Vernon, their defensive end, and they lost their star safety Landon Collins to the Washington Redskins. So I'm not sure. That's arguably I would say Odell Beckham is one of other than Saquon Barkley, he's the most important offensive weapon that you have, and they traded him away. Landon Collins, I think, is their best defensive player, and they lost him. So I'm not sure what exactly they're doing. I'm not sure what their plan is in this situation for this coming season. I know people are saying they're gonna, they're looking to draft a quarterback this year, which would make sense. I don't know if they're just trying to lose out as much as they can and tank for a quarterback next year, because next year's quarterback class coming into the draft is a lot higher than this year's. So I don't know if that's what they're trying to do by getting rid of all these guys, but I'm not sure where they're going with getting rid of players on both sides of the ball that you would expect a team to build around for the future. But that's what they're doing. That's what they've done. So I guess we'll see what happens in that situation. Well, that was my little recap of some of the madness that's been going on the last couple of days leading up to the start of today's NFL season. The official start, like I said, is today. It's begun. 2019 NFL season. Let's go. We're here. So that was just a little bit of a recap of some of the new faces that you're going to see in different uniforms on different teams in different cities. So thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you at the next video. Peace.